Alright, so in this video I wanted to cover how to set up some advanced table mappings, how you can map to different tables in the same using the same object or same class, how you can set up some different ordering, searching, different ordering, how you can set up different subsets, things like that. So I have sort of covered some of these things before, but I just thought it'd be good to consolidate that into one video so that it just explains how you can do some advanced stuff with collections. And the crux of it essentially is that you can override all those aspects that I've mentioned rather than using attributes. So if we have a look at the products table, for example, you can see that there's a bunch of attributes. Now everything here can be overridden with a function. There's usually a function. There's a function called table name. There is a function called key field name. So all of that stuff can be overridden, which is really important because sometimes you want to dynamically change what it is that you're ordering by, or you may want to get a different table depending on some sort of setting. So all of that stuff can you can fall back to code. You can still use these in conjunction with it. So say there was just you wanted to the table name was dynamic. You're getting data from a different table name. You can just do that, override that one function, and the rest will come through from the attribute. So you can mix and match, and you've got full control. So in this example, what I'm going to do is demonstrate how to set up some advanced mappings on a product. And what we're going to do is filter by a category. So if we have a look at the table here, we've got products we've got products here, and we've got a category there. So what I want to do is I just want to get the products within a particular category, and there's probably a couple of ways you could do that. You could do that put in here another class, but what I've decided to do, I think this is a little bit more intuitive, is to in here I've set up created a new class called products by category. It inherits from products. Don't need to necessarily do that. You could do that. You could use the existing products, and sometimes that makes more sense, but just for clarity I've done that separately. So here what we're doing is we're passing through the category, and we're applying a condition to these products. So we're overriding what the standard subset is, everything in the table. We just want to filter it down by this. So you can obviously put multiple conditions in here. You can put complicated expressions. Doesn't have to be something this simple, but typically that's what it is. So in this situation here, we're just filtering it down by category ID, which is going to come from which is this column here in the products table. And yeah, so anything that whenever we enumerate through the products class, or we get a count, or we do a search, or anything like that, it's always going to use this subset. So we just need to keep that in mind. You're really locking it down to exactly what you want it to see, and it'll never return anything in any way that's outside of this condition. So what I've done here as well is added this to the category class. So I think this is much more intuitive than putting it at the root level. So essentially what you're doing from the model perspective is getting a category, and then from the category you get the products. So you can see here I'm passing through the category here to this class that I was just mentioning before. So if we go to our application, we can now grab a category. So we're going to grab the seafood category, and we're going to get the first product in that category. So if we run that, you can see here that we're applying this subset that we're talking about and grabbing the first one where that category is 8. Okay, so that's good. Now, sometimes you want to do something a little bit more complicated, and what we're going to do is sort the products table by category name and then by product. So if we have a look at the tables here, we want to sort it by category name and then product name. So the problem with this is that at the products level, whenever we enumerate through the products, we've only got the ID to go off. So we do need to actually join with this category table here and then sort that. So the same approach applies that you would use normally in SQL, is join the table and then do the sort by product name and then category name and then product name. So in the products table, I'm going to basically change this to sort by category name and product name, category name first and then product name second. You can actually specify ordering here. There is actually an order by function too, so you can do that at that level. If this is dynamic or you want to codify something a bit more complicated, you can do that. But for the moment, that's all I need to do. So what I'm going to do is, what we obviously need to do is join this products table always to the category table, or we can conditionally do it, I guess. But for this situation, we just want to join it with the category table, and I'm going to write some code now to join that, and then we will essentially be able to order by category name and product name, because category name will be available. So I'll just write that code. Okay, so now I've finished writing that join, and basically we're creating a joins and joining the primary table, which is this table, which is the products table. So we're joining the products table with the categories table and by category ID. So if we run that now, go back to our application. Why don't we actually select everything? I think would probably make more sense. So if we grab the first product and run that. Okay, great, that's working. So you can see here that we're doing the inner join and we're ordering it by category name and product name, which is great. That works. What I actually want to show you is an issue with this, and it's just to do with table aliases. So obviously in this situation, we've got the same field name, but it's in different tables, and that can be a bit of a problem, particularly if we go back to our code here where we're getting a product from a category. Grab the first one. It'll be a bit of a problem here because there's an ambiguous column name. So you can see here that the category ID equals 8. We don't know which table that is. And this is coming from the subset that we have set up on the products. So we're always filtering, in this situation here when we're doing products by category, we're doing this filter here. Now we just basically need to specify a proper table name as well. And to do that, you can create an expression, which is basically a field expression, and we could actually even go base.tablename. That will return products, and the field name is category ID. So now if we should have a proper alias on there now. This is actually a function. Okay, so if you're using expressions, you do need to have it on the right hand side needs to be an expression, and this is a new SQL value expression. Let's try that again. Okay, so you can see now that we're actually it's put that products prefix on there for us, and it's all good. It's all working. Okay, so you can do some really complicated joins. You can join with a number of tables, and this stuff you can actually see all of these. Typically, all of this table join stuff. If you're using the product early binding reference, so say we've got something like this, and we've got this will basically figure out that you need to join with the category table. So if you're doing that, then it will create this table joins for you automatically, but you can do it in here in code if you want. So the other thing to point out here is, if I didn't already mention, is that the order by is like this. So it will order by category name and then by product name. So we have a quick look at the SQL that's generated. You can see there it's ordered by category name and then product name. And you can do that in ascending or descending order. So something else that you might want to do with the products or with a collection of some kind, you can override the distinct field name, which is this attribute here. If you want to change that in some way or make that dynamic, you can. If you want to change the order by, you can do that dynamically without doing that in code here as an attribute. We've talked about subset, we've done table name, and I'll actually be covering off in another video how to do table sharding, so I'll sort of demonstrate that in a bit more detail later. So that's pretty much it.